Ho ho ho! Happy XMas, agents! Santa here, welcoming you to this week's Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by Pokemon Trainer J. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates, and rumors. Share comments on your podcast feed or on our socials in the show notes, and check the merch store out too. I've got you all on my nice list, so no Dark XM for you this year. I hear one agent has Fit Rep rewards on their Christmas list. I'll see what I can do. Ho ho ho! On with the show.
Hello agents, this is Pokemon Trainer G of Christmas Pass. The episode you're about to hear I recorded previously, so there'll be no news featured in it. It'll just be about a certain topic, whether Ingress related or not, just as part of the specials released over the festive period in 2024. Hope you enjoy and listen.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents, first of all, before I get into the episode, happy Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas, and those who don't. Hope you enjoy whatever festivities you're celebrating. What I wanted to go over this time was, as it's the season of giving, was the last time Ingress tried to do some good in their Missions for Good campaign, as that's now 10 years old. It was started back on the 8th of December 2014. As their Google Plus and everything like that's now down, the only place this has been able to find this is on Facebook, so I'm going to read through the post there. So they say, create hashtag missions for good to support local charities, and together we can spread XM and goodwill. We've been inspired by agents organising cross-faction events to raise funds to local charitable organisations and coordinate food drives. Verified agents level 8 and above can create a mission at ingress.com/missions using portals or at nearby your local charities like food banks and donation centres, and include the Missions for Good hashtag in your mission title. You can use the following image as your mission medal. That link now doesn't work, but it's the image for the podcast. While out hacking, we encourage you to donate cans of food or new and gently used clothing. If there are no portals nearby to use in your mission, submit a new portal for your local charitable organisation and include the hashtag missions for good in your portal description. Happy hacking, and they have the Missions for Good hashtag yet again. Missions for Good was before my time started playing Ingress, so whilst I've heard it worked out really well and got lots of people involved doing missions, doing lots of charity donations, when I came into the game, I was a bit confused when I saw some basic charity shops and things like that on the map where they just had the description of hashtag missions for good with no context for me coming into it years later, wondering what was going on. I think this also confuses things in newer games such as like Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter, things like that, where they see the same thing and then people will think they are eligible and they should be nominating, like say a basic charity shop, a food bank, things like that, when they were only added to the game so that people could create their missions for good. So I think it's very confusing. I've seen a few threads before where people are asking about whether they're eligible because they're already on the map, which is a big enough problem in itself, from coal and stuff like that getting through to the map, and people thinking X is eligible because something similar to it appeared on the map. I haven't seen anything from the Ingress team regarding Mission for Good or food drives or anything like that. However, I know that there was a recent food drive for one of the Pokemon Go community days, I think in November of 2024, where those attending were encouraged to bring food, and the community leader, ambassador, I can't remember what they're called for Pokemon Go, would go and donate it to the relevant food bank or charity shop. That seemed to go down well, but then at the same time I wondered about the community leader, whatever they're called, being loaded down with a bunch of cans, things like that, when I know local churches have done food drives. There's a lot of stuff that is given, so if you've got 40-50 players turning up all with a few cans and bags of food, it's going to be a lot of stuff to carry back. But if it's helped people out, that's always great. As for Missions for Good, I don't know how well Ingress think it worked and whether they have an issue with the portals still being on the map that are not eligible anymore via Wayfarer standards for many of them. I also don't know how the Wayfarer team feels, whether that interferes with their goals, whether it interferes with Pokemon Go's goals. For me, they've never sat quite right. I've always been of the bit more extreme option of delete all the mission for good portals, but then obviously that gets rid of all the missions for good missions, and people do need the missions to complete for Second Sunday and other badges, things like that, and maybe it's the only one they've got in their area. But I definitely think someone somewhere should just take another look at them, see if they still meet criteria, and if not, remove them. But obviously other people want them to stay, they don't want their portals being removed, or if they're in other games, don't want their Pokestops removed. I will link to the post for the missions for good, so you can read through there and see the details, and if you have the mission creator, you can always look around and see what's on the map already under that hashtag, or see if there's any local area that you know are now at least 10 years old. As I said, it was on the 8th of December 2014 for this post. That was about it for this episode. It was just a bit of a looking at missions for good, what it was, whether it's still of use now, and how Niantic is still doing the little food drives, things like that, every now and again. They don't seem to be doing it every time. I know they do other green initiatives like tree planting as well. Maybe they decided that's a bit easier to do. That was all from me for this time, so hope you have a great Christmas and festive period, agents, and I hope you remember to get in your daily hack today, after lunch, before lunch, Christmas dinner, things like that. Just make sure you open your phone, do your hack, carry on with your streak, and then get back to speaking with your family, friends, whoever you've got over. Again, have a great day. Happy hacking. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do that on a few channels. So on Threads under the name ingress.insights, on Instagram under the name ingress.insights as well. Twitter/X, which posts episodes of the podcast, is under Ingress Insights, no dot in that one. And you can also watch these episodes on YouTube under Ingress Insights Podcast. You can send us a voice message by visiting the podcaster's Spotify page. And finally, you can buy Ingress Insights merch, such as mugs, pins, t-shirts, by going to epublic.com/user/ingress-insights. And on there, you'll see all the designs that we've got listed at the moment. There are some new ones that will be coming up at some point soon. But you can buy your Ingress Insights mug, hats, t-shirts, tote bags, anything like that you want. Thank you again for listening. Hope you tune in next week. If you do like the show, please do rate it on the podcast service you're listening to. I look forward to speaking with you all about Ingress again.
Intel package transferred.